Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm checking out a 2023 Honda HRV in the EXL trim level. This vehicle is sitting on 215/60 Hankook tires wrapped around 17-inch alloy wheels with a gloss gray finish. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors in the front and solid rotors in the back. Hopefully the sun and camera is doing this color justice, because it is very impressive. That's the first thing I noticed when I saw this vehicle, is how impressive this color is. Perfect for this style of vehicle and just looks good, especially with this gloss black trim that it has. So here in the front, almost everything up here is a gloss black. So here on the side with the wheel well ventilations right here is a gloss black, extends all the way across the bottom to the other side. Same thing with the grille, has a unique style as well. This area is a matte black right in here. There's also parking sensors. There's some located here in the body color, and then some are in the black here, kind of integrated well. The headlights are a multi-reflector LED system. There's the same basic system as the new Honda Civic, which works really nice. Looking at the profile of the vehicle, you can see that this is quite a bit different from the previous generation's HRVs. This is a really nice, I think, upgrade as far as the style and comfort and everything about it. Especially the EXL trim level, it's really nice. So you see more gloss black extending here around each wheel well, across the bottom and around to the back. Also, the pillars are blacked out in that gloss black, kind of solidifying the glass here, especially if you were to tint the front glass. The upper portion of the side mirror is body color, the lower portion is a flat black, and then you have body colored handles as well. This is what the key looks like, and it's the new Honda key design, which is nice. It's feels different, it's lighter and it's sleeker. You can put it in your pocket easier. And I have a video showing, how to take the battery out, how to do all that kind of stuff as a physical key on the inside and everything. So there's lock, unlock, remote start, the ability to release the trunk, and a panic button there. But it's a full proximity key designed to where you just keep this key in your pocket and use the vehicle 100%. As long as you have the key with you, it can be in a bag, in your pocket, doesn't matter. As long as it's on the outside of the door, either the front driver or passenger, you can lock the door by placing your finger over the little sensor here, indicated by these three little dimples. To unlock it, you simply put your hand behind the handle. There's a sensor back here. It senses the key on the outside of the door and allows you access to the vehicle. There's also a physical key location here on the driver's side only. Here's the inside of the passenger side door, and it's almost all black except for some stitching there, and the handle is a metallic, like a smoked metallic or a non-reflective satin metallic material there. So the stitching is actually a French double stitching right here and there. This is the only soft touch to speak of here. So this is like a vinyl type material and extends all the way over here. The very upper portion is soft touch, but it's like an injection molded type, but it's not very super soft. It's just a little soft surface on the over top of a hard surface. The rest of the door is all hard touch here. You got pockets at the bottom, and then this handle is enclosed, so you can utilize that as a pocket as well. There's a speaker in the door, and it's contoured nicely to kind of get the door out of your way, which is nice. There's the threshold, no fancy sill plate or anything. So the seats are really nice looking. They're not as comfortable for me as I would hope, but they kind of bottom out a little bit for me. It depends on the person and everything, but they are nice looking. And it has the French stitching here. You got stitching there in the center part. These are heated seats as well. They have little perforations in them. You can see they're slightly bolstered, not too intrusive or anything like that, but they definitely are impressive. And you see that stitching pretty much everywhere in the vehicles. You can see it there on the console, on the seats and the doors, even here on the dash. Plenty of legroom here in the front. Check it out. Wide open space. Glove compartment. Smooth plastic on the inside. Nothing surprising in there. This is a hard touch surface here, and then you got a soft touch, like a vinyl type material, and then more of that injection molded type stuff up here, and it's all non-reflective. And then you have this honeycomb feature here. This is what they did in the Honda Civic, the new Civic, where the vents are kind of hidden behind it, and some people like it. I think most people like it. It looks really good to me. The front door opening, you can see how wide open space. You got plenty of headroom, legroom, everything. Getting in and out is pretty easy, especially the height off the ground. So it's not like super low or super high. You can just kind of get right in and out, which is nice. So the opening here in the back door, you can see it's got lots of headroom here. It does kind of taper down a little bit, and also you have this part right here that's a little bit getting in the way, but of course this is the back door. And the swing of the door is okay. I think it could swing a little bit more, but just to help with getting in and out. But I think it's still good. For the size of the vehicle, I think it's designed well, so you can get in and out nicely. So the back door, same deal. You got the, except for you have hard touch here, everything hard touch except for this area. So it's having the same style, but the surfaces are slightly different. So there's the back seat. It's basically a bench seat, but you can lower the seats to add to your cargo space. It has the car seat attachments as well. Now there's no center armrest that folds down or anything like that. And there's no cup holders other than the door, a little pocket there on the door. You can put a cup there, I guess. There's a pocket on the back of this passenger side seat here, but not the driver. And then you have a little storage cubby there. No vents or anything. The floor is almost flat. It has a little hump there in the center. Now when you fold these seats down, you can see the bottom part lowers. When you fold the seats, the top part down, the bottom part lowers and tries to give you as much of a flat floor as possible. So it doesn't have, the prior generation HRV was based on the Fit design, and it had like these, different style of seats that they called magic seats that would fold and lift up and do different, features. These are just normal fold down seats, but they do lower to give you that flat floor. Take a look at the back of the vehicle, starting here with the very top. It has a body colored shark fin antenna here in the top center. There's a third brake light here in the rear spoiler. There's a wiper back here as well. This is the all-wheel drive. You can see a little badge right there, which is pretty neat. The tail lights are all LED, so turn signal, reverse lights, tail lights, brake lights, all that stuff are LED back here, which is really nice. These are reflectors. They're not lights down here, though. There's also parking sensors in this black portion. The backup camera is way offset, way over here, and it's in a poor position as far as I'm concerned. It's in this kind of like tacked on spot that's not symmetrical to the vehicle. It doesn't look good, and also it's, it could be better designed overall for functionality, and I'll show you that when we get inside the vehicle. So there's this kind of silver strip here at the very bottom. The exhaust is hidden there on the right side, right in there. There's also this hook here in the center. That's a tie down hook, so tying down for transportation, for transporting the vehicle, that kind of thing. Now you can use the key to release this hatch, but there's also a button under here, and when you push that button, as long as you have the key with you or the vehicle's unlocked, it'll release the trunk. And what's amazing to me is that when you lift up, it takes almost no energy. It takes almost no effort, basically, to lift it up. It's very easy. Even though it's not a powered lift gate, it is very easy to just lift it up. If you have all the seats occupied with passengers, this will be your cargo space, which is pretty substantial. You can see it extends there as far to the left as possible. There's a light there as well, and it extends on this side as well. But you'll notice it has a 12-volt power supply there, and also a light on this side, and they're pretty bright LEDs. So having a light on both sides, that is nice. That's a lot of vehicles are skimping big time on lighting. So just having not great lighting, but at least halfway adequate lighting is surprising nowadays for some reason. So having 2 lights, I'm really happy to see that. This bottom portion lifts up, and it's basically like this kind of plastic cardboard type material that's laying over this styrofoam piece, which you have more space to put some stuff here. There's tools for your spare tire, and then the spare tire, you lift up this big styrofoam piece, and then there's the spare tire itself, and you can probably utilize some of the space around it for extra stuff if you want to. But the weight of the floor, whatever you put on this floor, is going to be supported by the styrofoam piece, because this is just like a covering. It's not really a floor itself. But all together, I mean, it feels pretty sturdy. I mean, I've put stuff in here, doesn't seem to be a problem. And it does have tie downs, fixed tie downs here, as well as here. So that's a metal connected to the actual body of the vehicle. So when you tie something down, it's not tied to something loose. It's actually tied to something attached to the vehicle. So folding the seats down, you can fold down one seat or the other to add to your cargo space while still maintaining some passenger space, or you can fold them both down and have a wide open place back here. And it's not completely flat, but it's pretty close. The fuel door is here on the driver's side, and it's locking. So when the vehicle is locked, this door is locked. But when you unlock it, it unlocks the door. So it's a capless design. You don't have to worry about taking a cap off or leaving the cap somewhere or getting your hands dirty, even touching the cap. You can just simply, refuel it right there. So it does require, you can see right here, it does require the little funnel that's in the trunk area if you're going to use a gas can. That's only for a gas can. Normally you just put the nozzle in there, pump it, and you're good to go. As long as you have the key inside the vehicle, you just hold the brake and push this button to start it up. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Now the floor mat hooks in place. Unlike the other side, this side hooks in place in 2 places. There's the accelerator, brake pedal, a large footrest there on the left side, which is nice and comfortable. Let's take a look under the hood. To open the hood, there is a latch a little bit to the left of center. So it's right in here, and you move it to the right. So you just reach in, move it to the right, and lift up. There we go. All right, so you can see the latch right there. It is a pretty heavy hood, so you want to be prepared for that. It does require a prop to hold it up, and there's the prop right here on the left side, and it swings up, and you can put it here where the arrow is pointing, or if you want to be a rebel and use the secret spot down here, you could take that little plug out and you can put it there, and this lifts the hood way up high. This is for, like technicians and stuff like that. But it does do a good job of lifting the hood out of your way completely. The underside of the hood has a insulation piece there in the center part. There's also a seal across the back. There's insulation all across, almost completely covering the firewall. And the engine, it has a little bit of space between the firewall and the engine. Plus, the exhaust is in the front and the intake is in the back. So all the heat generated from the exhaust is away from the firewall, which is nice. But it does add some heat to the cooling system over here. So that's a trade-off either way. Now the battery is insulated, and it's really easy to get to here, as well as the air filter. That's nice and easy to get to right there. So this is a 4-cylinder engine, 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine, and it's paired to a CVT automatic transmission. You'll see as we go down the road, it kind of struggles a little bit. It's not like the super fast vehicle. If you drive normally, then it's not a big deal. You're just kind of cruising along. You're not really trying to floor it or anything like that. It's not really a big deal. But if you like to, if you want a vehicle that really has that pep, and you can really punch out into traffic or merge into a highway or something like that, then this kind of struggles at that, especially it being an all-wheel drive vehicle as well. So it's trying to handle that additional drivetrain there. But as far as this normal driving passenger vehicle, it's fine. It's fine. Just keep that in mind when you test drive it, that it's not as fast as the 1.5 liter that's in, say, the like the Honda Accord, the 1.5 liter turbo with the CVT transmission. That's much faster to me feeling vehicle. So this one kind of struggles a little bit for the higher RPMs. But if you just kind of drive it normally, you won't even notice it. You know, it's not like it's, you know, annoyingly slow. It's just not fast, you know, that kind of thing. The rear cross traffic alert and blind spot detection system indicators here on the side mirror. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. So you can see the power windows are here. The front two are automatic, the back two are regular. So the front two, you just simply lift it up and it'll go up and down for you. The back windows, you can see they go down at a certain point. They stop though. That's as far as they go down. You have to hold them to go up and down. Door lock controls are here. Side mirrors are adjusted here. You just pick a side and adjust it with that little pad. So instead of a manually adjusted seat like the passenger side, you have a power seat. It goes forward and back, tilt and all that stuff, height and tilt the back, but there's no power lumbar adjustment. But man, I'm impressed with the looks of these seats. They look good. But like I mentioned, right in here, it seems to bottom out quickly for me. So if the center part was more cushioned, I'd like them better as far as like maybe a long trip. Short trips are really no problem. It's just, you know, it could just be a little bit more comfortable, that's all. Now to the left of the steering column, there's a little cubby all the way right here, putting some change or whatever you want right there. And then there's the traction control off button. Default is traction control on, so this is how you turn it off. This is only if you want to spin tires though, so you know, keep that in mind. Also, it has a tilt and a telescoping steering column. And you lock in place right here. Sitting in the driver's seat checking it out, and I have the driver's seat all the way back and all the way down. Almost all the way. Well, actually, it could go further back. So yeah, I'm 6 feet tall, and this is way too far back for me to drive. So if you're over 6 feet, you should have no problem driving this vehicle. Plenty of leg room and everything. Now, when I get my seat position for my height, this part right here kind of gets in the way a little bit. It's kind of like it's unnecessarily bulging out for some reason. But it's soft and everything, but you know, it's not a huge deal, but I just want to mention that it might be an issue for some people. So the steering wheel, it's a leather wrap steering wheel, has some gloss black on it as well. Good thickness, comfortable, not super soft, but it does give a little bit. I think they did a good job on it. The right side of the steering wheel has the cruise control buttons. So you turn it on, you can set and resume right here by going up and down on this little toggle. You can cancel here. It also has the lane keep assist and the adaptive cruise control, so you can set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you there, and you can turn on the lane keeping assist. Now the lane keeping assist is not very intrusive, so when you turn it on, you may not even realize that it's on. So it does work fairly well. It's just really nice that the fact that it's not fighting with you. But if you do tend to steer out of your lane, then it kind of tries to nudge you back into it. But it's not constantly fighting with you like some vehicles, so I like that. Here on the left side, you have the volume for the radio, change to the tracks on the radio, voice recognition. Now this little house right here, that's a home button, and this scroll wheel, which is rubberized, which is nice. And then you can push in on that little scroll wheel. Those correspond with a screen here between the gauges. We'll get to that in just a minute. Windshield wipers for the front and back is here. Pretty straightforward. Here on the left is the turn signal, but it also has the headlight switch. So it's off, which toggles when you toggle it like this, it toggles the daytime running lights, and then you can go parking lot and then headlights. So there's a physical gauge here for the speedometer here on the right side. Everything on the left is part of a screen. Even that tachometer here, this RPM gauge, is part of a screen. Which is customizable. So right now there's a digital speedometer, there is the status of your cruise control, and the drive mode, odometer, fuel gauge, and then a digital clock, and then the RPM gauge. So let's go ahead and hit the home button. Remember the home button and the little scroll wheel? Hitting the home button pops up this menu that I can scroll through. I can adjust the brightness of the screen, different things like that. I can also choose what additional information I want in this area. And I can go in here and I can scroll through and check and uncheck the ones that I want here. You see it's quite a few. Alright, so now you can see the ones that are checked show up in this menu here. So if we want to have the all-wheel drive torque distribution here instead of the tachometer, we can have that. Hit the home button, we can go here and see who has their seat belts. Select that. And you select it by pushing in on the little scroll wheel. When it's time to change the oil, that kind of thing. Safety support. So this would show the status of your blind spot monitoring system, the adaptive cruise control, and the rear cross traffic alert. You can scroll through and check or uncheck these if you want to. Or you can have, when you choose no content, that's how you get the tachometer. Otherwise, it's going to show that other information. Now, one of the things that you kind of have to look under is the trip. So the trip, you have to go under, it is range and fuel, and then you'll see A and B. When you scroll, it goes A and B. So it shows your range, your average fuel economy, but the trip is actually in this submenu, and you press and hold the scroll wheel to reset it. So there's two trips there that you can choose. So that's kind of something that you have to kind of look for. It's not obvious from the beginning. So remember the home button and scroll wheel there. But yeah, that's kind of a quick rundown of what the screen's all about. And you know, it's gauges, the screens, a little bit of customization. And once you get it set up, you don't have to go through and scroll everything all the time. It's just there in case you want to use it. So we saw the start button there. Here's the touch screen. It does have some physical buttons here, as well as a volume knob, change through tracks, or depending on what you're playing, you can go left and right on, you know, like radio stations or USB tracks or tracks on your phone, that kind of thing. Now the home screen here, it shows different like icons like you'd find on your cell phone. You can go into all apps here. Let's go back out of that. Phone, once you set up your phone, you'll have access to all that here. I don't have it connected right now. FM, Bluetooth audio, smartphone connection. It does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto capabilities, satellite radio. There's a trip computer here as well. So in addition to the one that I showed you on the other screen, you have one here. You have trip A, trip B, and basically the trips that you chose back there are showing up here. It's the same thing. Also the current drive, which is nice. Let's get back out of that. Alright, USB, when you plug in a device, you'll have access to that. You got vehicle settings, you got general settings, you can see a clock here, which is nice. Sometimes you want to focus on the time. Honda Link, which is an app for your cell phone. And it does have over-the-air system updates. There's AM, so for some reason separated from the FM. And then there's display mode. You can change to night or day, and the brightness there. So let's go into general settings so you can see about what's in there. Sound, camera, connections, that kind of thing. And then vehicle settings. So this will be your calibrate your tire pressure system. Let's say you want to, you know, you change a tire or something, you have to reset that kind of thing. Driver assist system, so you can go in there and you can turn features on or off. Keyless access, so you can go in there and set it up to where one press on the unlock button will unlock just one door, not all doors, that kind of thing. How long your lights stay on, that kind of thing. Automatic high beams, you can turn those on or off. So yeah, it's kind of a quick rundown of what the screen's about. Let's go to the satellite radio just so you can see what the radio looks like, because you do have presets there. It does have album art, and it also has album art when you're playing over your Bluetooth, your cell phone, and it shows you, like I was playing YouTube videos, and it showed a little icon here showing what the thumbnail was on the video, so which is pretty cool. And it has a dedicated clock here as well. Okay, so that's kind of a quick rundown of what it's all about. So down here is the four-way flashers, and then the climate control. It's a dual zone, driver and passenger temperatures here, fan speeds here. You can sync both of them if you want to. Unsyncing them, you just push that button, or you just start turning the knob there and it'll unsync them. You can use the automatic function, or you can set it up manually, and you can see it has, as I change that, you can see everything changing here. Where you want the air to blow, front and rear defrosters. When you turn on the rear defrosters, it also turns on the heated side mirrors. Recirculate the air. Also, you have front seats that are heated, so high, medium, and low, and off. So it's a 3-stage heated seat for the driver and passenger. There's the passengers over there. There's a USB charge port there, as well as connecting your cell phone for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and then you have a wireless charge place here, so you can set your phone there, and it's just like a it's rubberized too, which is nice. But it's a wireless charging pad. Cup holders are right here, and they have little articulating arms in them. Shifter, pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and put it in reverse so you can see the backup camera. Now on Honda, it has different views here: top down, wide view, different wide views here. So this would be more of a linear wide view. This is like super wide, but you can see the placement of the camera is just, could be better, I'll just say that. You can see it a lot of the vehicle here, because it's kind of in a weird spot. Also, it has the rear cross traffic alert. You can turn that system off. If it's like beeping at you and it's annoying you, you can quickly turn it off here. Alright, there's neutral, drive, and then you have like a sport mode, and then a low range, like if you need engine braking going down a long hill or something like that, you could do that. So this is a CVT transmission, so it doesn't actually have like traditional gears on gears. It has a speed ratio, so you can change to the speed ratios there. With the low range, you don't manually change it, but you're able to downshift anyway. So there's a USB port here, as well as on the other side, and there's like this little pass-through right here to put some stuff, rubberized place. There's drive modes, and when you choose that, there's Eco. It shows up here on the screen. There's snow mode, Eco, and normal, and that's it. The sport is actually using the shifter here. Now there's this downhill descent button, so this will be like you're on a slippery surface and you're going up or downhill. It'll keep you at a set pace, very, very slow with the all-wheel drive system, and try to keep you from slipping. That's what the intention is anyway. Electronic parking brake, it engages the rear wheels as you pull it up. Push it, hold the brake, and then push it down to release it. And then it has a brake hold feature in which it'll hold the brake for you when you come to a complete stop. This is handy for like traffic jams or stoplights that take forever, that kind of thing. You don't have to hold the brake the whole time. You can be in drive, you just come to a complete stop and it holds the vehicle for you until you push the accelerator. The armrest is kind of rubbery soft, and it lifts up and it doesn't slap back down because it's spring-loaded. And has a compartment here, which is handy. I put my business cards in there so you can see the bottom, because it's kind of dark in there. Rearview mirror is an auto dim rearview mirror. It's actually auto dimming right now because it has the shade over the light sensor, which is on this side here on the back. And you can turn that feature off when you pushing that button. And it's only the rearview mirror, it's not the side mirrors that auto dims. There's also some lights up here, here. You can turn on all the interior lights with this little toggle switch, have them all off, or have it in the center place right here if you want them to turn on when you open the door. This is for the sunroof. We'll get to that in just a minute. The visors are like a cloth, just like the headliner. And then there is a mirror with a light. They also extend out. Other than that, it's pretty basic. Same thing on the other side, basically. Okay, so the sunroof, it has a shade that covers 100% of the light. So if you don't want any light coming in, you can simply just close it up. And then when you open it up, it is letting light in, but it's a little bit tinted. Let's go ahead and tilt it up. Tilt it down, and then slide it back. Push it again, it doesn't go any further. So looking at the visibility in the back, it does have some pretty wide pillars back there, but they put some small windows in there as well. Not too shabby. Now it could, it could be better. All vehicles have some kind of blind spot that you got to watch out for. So this one has it as well. Now it has the rear cross traffic alert, the blind spot detection system, the camera, all that stuff to help you out with, using the vehicle safely. But that's what it's all about. I haven't had any issues really backing out of any parking spots, or the backup camera does a decent job of letting me know what's back there anyway. When I test drove the new Honda Civic, I had a lot of people in the comments saying that it was loud. In real life, it wasn't very loud. So this vehicle, you can hear the engine kind of rev because of the CVT is holding that higher RPMs to get you going. There's a little bit of noise, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's a loud vehicle. So that was one of the things that I was kind of surprised that so many people thought that the new Civic was loud, and it's like, for other vehicles, I mean, there is quieter vehicles, no doubt, but it's not really loud. It's just, it has some noise, especially if you haven't driven it yourself and you just watch a video and the camera's like amplifying the sound really loud. It's not really a big deal to me anyway. Now you might be different. You might be used to some super quiet vehicle, and this one is loud to you. So, it's a little subjective thing, but it's not really a big deal to me. Same thing with the CVT transmission. Okay, so we're going now on a fairly smooth road. Go ahead and set the cruise control. It's just a pleasant vehicle to drive as far as just kind of cruising along, and easy to steer. And the cruise control does a good job of keeping you at a safe distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. The lane keep assist is not too intrusive. It's not fighting with you, but it does kind of follow the lines pretty good. It's not 100% or anything, but it does a decent job. This isn't a super fast vehicle. but it does, because of that CVT, it's able to hold that high RPMs and keep you in the proper RPM range, in which it gives you the efficiency but also acceleration and stuff. And that's the thing about the CVT. It doesn't have to change gears to get you into that RPM range that's ideal for the engine. It just kind of holds it in there. The CVT system does. And that's why you hear that revving and then holding, and that's very important for what it's trying to accomplish. So I noticed that this particular microphone's kind of loud. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug it, and so you can hear what the vehicle sounds like, maybe not so amplified. Alright, so now we have just like directly from the camera, more ambient sound. So I'll sound a little bit different, the vehicle will sound a little bit different. And hopefully that'll help you out if you're not able to take one for a test drive, because these sell pretty quick. So the dealerships are having trouble keeping them in stock, so you may not have a chance to take one for a test drive. It's funny, as you let go of the accelerator, it starts to pick up faster because of that. It already picks up that RPM range, and then it just kind of like takes off. It's definitely not as fast as the Accord though. The Accord's faster. But yeah, as far as the engine sound, it is definitely, you can hear it for sure, because it has to wind up and then take off. Now this is a rougher road, so you'll be able to hear more stuff. My equipment's kind of rattling in the back, so that's kind of one little noisy thing happening. But this is a much better than the vehicle I was driving before, which felt like a mechanical bull. This one's a lot smoother. If only the seat was a little bit more soft. It's a little bit not the greatest for me anyway. The turning radius is really nice as well. I was kind of surprised at how small of a space you can turn around. So yeah, I'm just going to turn the wheel, and we can turn around like really good. This is pretty nice. And the camera, which I'm used to the Honda backup camera, which I'm like totally not parking right, but I'm just showing you what it looks like anyways. Now the different views here, this would be just like straight behind the vehicle. This kind of like tries to give you the view from both sides, as if you're looking down that way and down this way. And that's actually a big good idea to show you. You see how that curb is curved? And you can see down both sides of that curb. So you see, even I'm right up on it, but you can still see it just takes that straight edge and curves it, so you can see both sides. And basically, this helps out with being able to see if there's cars coming from either direction. If you just have it right here, you can see it eliminates that view, but you don't have that stretched out, weird looking fisheye look. So this one might be better for some people, because this kind of can get confusing if you don't really understand what it's doing. So having that view plus the top down view here, you can see directly right where the vehicle is compared to the curb here, getting pretty close. But you can tell, you know, this view right here, once you understand what you're looking at, it is very helpful, being able to see both directions like that. All right, so there you have it. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you think about this vehicle. It's kind of like a SUV type Civic, and it rides nice. It's pretty quiet. I'm impressed with it. I mean, the seats are not quite as comfortable as I would prefer, but now that's a subjective thing. It depends on the person sitting in them. So anyways, I enjoy driving it. Let me know what you think, and if you own one, you can maybe share your experience. That would be helpful for sure. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.